But, I was going to ask you, what's your favorite Lord of the Rings movie? Because this one's mine.
Yeah, this one as well. For me, I don't think it's that close between this and Return of the King. Definitely the distant third is Two Towers.
Yeah, I feel like if you like the Two Towers, I know everything about you immediately if you tell me that.
I feel like in hindsight, the Helm's Deep sequence gets more credit than it deserves, considering most of the movie is trees walking around. There's a lot of boring
there's
stuff
Isengard, which is pretty cool.
It's still a good movie, but the second one, they filmed these movies all at the same time, so I can't say that this actually went into the filmmaking necessarily, but I feel like the first movie realizes the hobbits are the heart of the story. The second movie lost track of that. And then the third movie, they realized it again. So that's the big part of the reason why Two Towers is by far the worst.
Well, and it's also funny.
It's still a fine movie, but it's just not as good as this. But at the same time, I'm going to say this movie is, for what it is basically perfectly paced. All of the scenes where there's not action or adventure, it feels like they're accomplishing something. There's just enough exposition for what you need to know, and it moves along. I don't want to say quickly, but I feel like every scene has a purpose, and that's what the Two Towers lacks. And maybe the Return of the King does a little bit too. I'm not sure, but Two Towers definitely.
But I will say something that you brought up that I kind of want to touch on is that you said that the Fellowship is kind of from the perspective of the hobbits, sort of, or
yeah,
they're introduced to the world through the hobbits.
It is, right?
We're introduced to this world through the hobbits in this movie, but I like how at the Two Towers, at the end of this movie, everybody splits up. But in the Two Towers, we are forced to then look at the world through the perspective of Aragorn. And we have to take more of an interest into what they're doing and not the hobbits. And it really does give you that sense that everybody has split up. So now you're following Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli and Gandalf and what they're doing, and the hobbits have to go do their own thing now.
That is all true, and I guess what kind of bothers me about that to a certain extent, I mean, there's a bunch of great stuff there, obviously, but it's all supplemental. If the ring stuff fails, none of the rest matters, you know? The ring is what's important.
Yeah, but then you can tie it into saying, they're doing their part to help Frodo and Sam succeed.
Yeah, it's
in
like
their
Starship
part.
Troopers.